Welcome back to my channel, my coin lovers. Today, we're diving into the world of the legendary Kennedy half dollar. Coins that carry history, mystery, and unimaginable fortune. These aren't just ordinary coins. Some of them are worth millions in today's market and could change your life overnight. From rare mint marks to hidden errors, we'll uncover 5 of the most valuable Kennedy half dollars ever struck. So stay with me, because what you're about to see might just turn your pocket change into pure treasure. The first up, imagine this. You're holding a coin that most people would spend without a second thought, a simple half dollar minted in 1971. To the ordinary eye, it looks like just another piece of change. But hidden within this coin is a possibility of unimaginable wealth, the kind of fortune that could turn an everyday person into a millionaire overnight. This isn't just a story about money. It's a story about legacy, about history, and about how one coin can carry within it the power to change your destiny forever. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar is more than just 50 cents. It's a continuation of one of America's most emotional tributes. When President John F. Kennedy was tragically assassinated in 1963, the nation mourned, and within months, his profile was placed on the half dollar. By 1971, the coin had already become a symbol of honor, respect, and remembrance. Every person who held it felt a connection to Kennedy's dream of hope, progress, and unity. That's why this coin, minted in the first year of America's copper, nickel-clad coinage, holds such a deep and lasting importance. But here's where the magic begins. While millions of these coins were struck, only a few exist in pristine, flawless condition, the kind that makes collectors go wild. Even more valuable are those with rare minting errors, accidents at the U.S. Mint that created coins unlike any other. Double strikes, missing details, off-center cuts, or coins struck on the wrong planchet have turned ordinary 1971 Kennedy half dollars into treasures worth millions of dollars at auction. Imagine holding one and realizing you're holding not 50 cents, but a life-changing fortune. Think about it. A coin you might dismiss as spare change could, in perfect condition or with the right error, become your golden ticket. Collectors crave rarity. They chase uniqueness, and they are willing to pay fortunes for it. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar in mint state perfection is like a jewel in the crown of U.S. coinage, commanding jaw-dropping prices when it appears on the auction block. These aren't just sales, they are battles, with bidders fighting for the chance to own a piece of history and wealth combined. The beauty of this coin lies not only in its potential value, but also in its design. On the front, Kennedy's proud profile stares forward, a lasting tribute to a leader who inspired millions. On the reverse, the presidential seal glows with power, reminding every holder of America's strength and resilience. When struck sharply and preserved carefully, the 1971 half dollar is breathtaking to behold. The shine, the detail, and the history all blending into one. It is a masterpiece of coinage that bridges the gap between remembrance and reward. Now, picture the thrill. You're searching through an old coin jar, flipping through change left behind by your parents or grandparents, when suddenly you spot a 1971 Kennedy half dollar. At first, it looks ordinary, but then you notice the luster, the flawless surface, or maybe even an unusual strike. You take it to an expert, and they tell you that this isn't just a coin, it's a rarity, a treasure worth a staggering fortune. In that moment, your life changes forever. What was once 50 cents is now your key to financial freedom. Friends, this is why people all over the world are hunting for this coin. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar, in exceptional condition, represents possibility, the chance to turn the smallest piece of metal into wealth beyond imagination. It proves that history and money often walk hand in hand, and those who recognize it first are the ones who win. Collectors aren't just paying for metal. They're paying for meaning, for memory, and for the chance to hold a symbol of American pride in their hands. In today's market, the excitement has only grown stronger. Auctions have seen 1971 Kennedy half dollars fetch record-breaking prices, shocking even seasoned numismatists. A rare error coin or a flawless proof can bring in millions, far beyond what most people would believe possible for a half dollar. And the beauty is, these coins are not locked away in vaults or museums. They're still out there, scattered across the country, waiting in drawers, collections, and old rolls of coins. The treasure is hiding in plain sight. So, the next time you come across a 1971 Kennedy half dollar, don't dismiss it as just another coin. Look closely, study its shine, check for errors, and remember the power it carries. Because what you hold in your hand may not just be spare change. It could be the fortune that changes your life forever, from remembrance to riches, from tragedy to triumph. This coin proves that greatness often hides in the most ordinary of places. And who knows, the key to unimaginable wealth might already be resting quietly in your own pocket, just waiting to be discovered. The second up, imagine holding a coin in your hand that doesn't just represent money, but also 200 years of America's proud history. The 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar, also known as the bicentennial half dollar, is one such coin. At first glance, it looks like a simple half dollar, just 50 cents. But in reality, it can carry a value worth millions, depending on its condition, its rarity, and its unique minting errors. This coin is far more than currency. It's a time capsule, a national treasure, and for the lucky person who possesses the right one, it could be the golden ticket to overnight wealth. The story of this coin begins with America's 200th birthday, the bicentennial. In 1976, the nation celebrated 2 centuries of freedom, independence, and progress. To honor this historic moment, the U.S. Mint created special bicentennial coins, and the Kennedy half dollar became one of the most cherished pieces of that celebration. Unlike ordinary coins, it bore a special reverse design. The majestic Independence Hall, the birthplace of American liberty, proudly standing as a symbol of freedom. Holding one is like holding a piece of America's soul, forever frozen in metal. Now, while millions were produced, the real fortune lies in those rare examples that survived in flawless, pristine condition, untouched by circulation, protected from scratches and gleaming with perfection. Even more valuable are the error coins, those struck on the wrong metal, misaligned, or carrying double details. These mistakes, though small, transformed the ordinary 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar into a priceless rarity. Collectors and investors know this. When history and rarity collide, the value of a coin can climb into the millions. What makes this coin truly breathtaking is its symbolism. On the obverse, we see John F. Kennedy's noble profile, a permanent reminder of a president whose vision and words still inspire generations. On the reverse, Independence Hall reminds us of the spirit of 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was signed and the dream of liberty became reality. Together, these designs link past and present, creating a bridge of meaning that makes this half dollar unlike any other in American coinage. Now imagine this. You stumble across a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar in your collection, a coin you thought was just a keepsake from a grandparent or something left in an old drawer. At first, it seems ordinary, but then you notice its shine, its crisp details, maybe even an unusual strike. You take it to an expert, and they tell you the truth. This is no ordinary half dollar. This is a rare gem, valued at millions, a coin that has the power to completely change your life. Suddenly, 50 cents has become a fortune beyond imagination. This is why collectors chase after this coin with passion. The 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar in perfect mint state is like a diamond among stones, something so rare and magnificent that its very existence feels like magic. Auctions around the world have seen extraordinary sums offered for these coins, as bidders compete for the honor of owning one. For the collector, it's not just about money. It's about possessing a piece of American history, a coin that symbolizes freedom, leadership, and a nation's 200-year journey. Think about the emotional weight behind this coin. Every time it passes from hand to hand, it whispers a story of Kennedy's legacy, of America's independence, of the millions of people who celebrated the bicentennial with pride and unity. It's not just a coin. It's a reminder where America came from and where it's going. And when preserved in the highest quality or discovered with a rare minting error, it transforms into something that collectors will pay millions to own, not just for its metal, but for the story it tells. In today's market, the value of these bicentennial Kennedy half dollars has skyrocketed. Collectors are hungrier than ever, and the competition is fierce. A flawless coin can command jaw-dropping prices, and the right era can multiply that value beyond comprehension. These coins are not locked away in distant museums. They are still out there, waiting to be discovered in old rolls, collections, or family treasures. The wealth is hiding in plain sight, ready to reward the sharp-eyed hunter who recognizes it. So, if you ever come across a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar, don't make the mistake of spending it or dismissing it as ordinary change. Look closely, study its details, protect its condition, and understand the incredible potential it carries. Because hidden inside this coin is the power to change your life overnight. It's not just 50 cents. It's a symbol of freedom, a tribute to Kennedy, and for the fortunate, a key to unimaginable fortune. The bicentennial half dollar proves one thing. Sometimes the greatest treasures come disguised as the simplest things, waiting patiently for the right person to discover their true worth. The third up. Imagine a coin resting quietly in someone's palm, a coin so common that it might slip unnoticed into a jar change. But what if I told you that one such coin, a 1979 Kennedy half dollar, could be worth not just a few cents but millions in the right condition? This isn't just a dream. It's a reality for collectors and treasure hunters who understand the hidden potential inside this remarkable piece of American currency. The Kennedy half dollar has always carried a certain mystique, but the 1979 issue in particular can hold unimaginable wealth for those who are lucky enough to discover its rarest forms. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, only months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was a nation's way of honoring a beloved leader whose vision of hope and progress still echoed through every American heart. By 1979, the coin was already a staple of U.S. coinage, yet it still carried that weight of history and emotion. Each coin minted bore not just Kennedy's profile, but also the legacy of a president whose life was cut short, yet whose influence lived on. That is what makes every Kennedy half dollar more than just metal. It is a piece of America's story. While millions of Kennedy half dollars were struck in 1979, not all of them are created equal. A handful carry traits so rare, so unique, that they become treasures beyond imagination. A perfect mint-state coin, untouched by circulation, glowing with flawless surfaces, can command enormous sums. Even more astonishing are the rare error coins from that year. Doubled strikes, misaligned dies, or pieces struck on the wrong planchet. These oddities, born by chance, make a coin truly one of a kind, and collectors will pay fortunes to own them. Think of the journey this coin has taken since 1979. From banks to pockets, from cash registers to collections, most of them were worn down by time. But imagine the thrill of uncovering a pristine example. Its luster is brilliant as the day it left the mint. That sharpness, that perfection, makes the difference between 50 cents and millions of dollars. Auctions have proven again and again that when rarity meets condition, the sky is the limit. For the 1979 Kennedy half dollar, that potential is life-changing. The design itself adds to its majesty. The obverse shows Kennedy's determined profile, an image that captures leadership, strength, and sacrifice. On the reverse, the powerful eagle holds a nation's shield, a symbol of protection and freedom. Together, they remind us of America's resilience through tragedy and triumph. To hold this coin is to hold history, art, and symbolism all at once. That emotional weight makes it far more than currency. It is a living tribute cast in metal. Stories abound of collectors or even ordinary people stumbling across what they thought was a regular 1979 half dollar, only to discover it was something extraordinary. Perhaps it was struck in error, or perhaps it was a brilliant, uncirculated piece overlooked for decades. One moment they had 50 cents, and the next they were staring at a fortune worth millions. These stories inspire hope because they remind us that treasure is still out there, waiting to be found in the most unexpected places. But the true magic of the 1979 Kennedy half dollar is not only in the money it can bring, but in the connection it creates. Each coin carries Kennedy's spirit and America's collective memory of his presidency. For collectors, owning such a coin feels like holding on to a part of history itself, something that links the past to the present in a tangible way. That emotional connection pushes demand higher, making these coins even more desirable in the market. Today, The coin's value continues to rise as collectors grow more determined to secure their place in history. A flawless 1979 Kennedy half dollar can ignite fierce bidding wars at auctions, with prices that soar far beyond what anyone could have predicted. Error coins, because of their unique nature, sometimes break all expectations, with buyers willing to pay millions for the chance to own a piece that no one else can claim. For the right coin, wealth beyond comprehension is just one discovery away. So, my friends, if you ever come across a 1979 Kennedy half dollar, don't treat it as just change. Hold it, study it, and recognize the power it carries. In the right condition, it can rewrite your destiny overnight. It's not just a coin. It's a piece of art, a piece of history, and possibly your key to unimaginable fortune. Remember this. Sometimes the smallest treasures carry the greatest rewards, and the 1979 Kennedy half dollar is living proof that even 50 cents can hold the power to make you a millionaire. The fourth up, imagine holding a coin minted in the modern era, just a few years ago, and realizing it carries the same potential for unimaginable wealth as coins that are centuries old. The 2021 D. Kennedy half dollar may look like an ordinary piece of pocket change, worth just 50 cents. But in reality, this coin can be worth millions if found in the right condition and with the right attributes. That's the magic of coin collecting. What seems common to most people could be the treasure that changes your life overnight. This coin, struck in Denver, is proof that even in our modern world, hidden fortunes are still waiting to be discovered. The Kennedy half dollar has a deep emotional connection to America. First introduced in 1964 as a tribute to the late President John F. Kennedy, it quickly became more than just money. It became a national symbol of remembrance and hope. Decades later, in 2021, the tradition of striking the Kennedy half dollar continued, keeping alive not only the memory of a beloved leader, but also the legacy of one of the most iconic coin designs in U.S. history. Collectors know that every new issue carries with it a link to the past, a story etched into its design, and the possibility of rarity. What makes the 2021 D. Kennedy half dollar so fascinating is that it bridges the gap between modern minting technology and timeless collectability. While millions were struck for circulation, only a fraction exists in pristine, untouched condition. Coins preserved directly from mint rolls, coins that have never seen circulation, and coins graded at the highest levels can command extraordinary sums. And then there are the special error coins, those struck off-center, doubled in detail, or struck on the wrong planchet. These anomalies transform an ordinary 2021 half dollar into a treasure worth millions in today's collector market. Consider the power of condition. A 2021 D. Kennedy half dollar pulled straight from a cash register may only be worth its face value, but one discovered in flawless mint state, its surfaces gleaming, its strike perfect, can fetch staggering prices at auction. Collectors and investors alike are willing to pay fortunes for perfection, because coins like these are not just money, they are works of art. Each tiny detail, from Kennedy's sharp profile to the eagle on the reverse, tells a story of craftsmanship and pride, and when captured perfectly, that story becomes priceless. The design itself is a masterpiece that continues to resonate with generations. The obverse features Kennedy's strong, dignified profile, a reminder of leadership and legacy. The reverse shows the eagle with its wings spread wide, gripping arrows in an olive branch, symbols of strength and peace. For collectors, this design is not just beautiful but iconic. It represents America's resilience, its values, and its history. Owning a flawless or rare 2021 D half dollar is like owning a fresh chapter of that living legacy. Now imagine this scenario. Someone purchases a roll of half dollars from a local bank in 2021, tosses it into a drawer, and forgets about it. Years later, they rediscover it, open the roll, and find a flawless, gleaming 2021 D. Kennedy half dollar unlike any they've ever seen. After grading and authentication, it turns out to be a perfect example or an ultra-rare mint error. Suddenly, what was once a forgotten roll of coins becomes the key to unimaginable wealth. Stories like these remind us that fortune often hides in the most ordinary places. The 2021 D. Kennedy half dollar is also a symbol of modern rarity. Unlike older coins, many people assume modern issues have no collectible value because they are still new. But rarity is not just about age. It is about condition, demand, and uniqueness. The combination of these factors is what drives a coin's value sky high. The 2021 D has already proven that when the right error or flawless condition is found, the value can leap from 50 cents to millions in today's coin market. That leap is what excites collectors and keeps the hunt alive. Auction houses have begun to see the demand for high-grade modern Kennedy half dollars soar, and the 2021 D is no exception. Collectors who want the very best are willing to pay any price. And as time passes, the rarity of pristine examples only increases. Coins that once seemed common will one day be nearly impossible to find in perfect form. That scarcity ensures that values climb higher with each passing year. For those who own a rare or error 2021 D half dollar today, the future holds not just pride of ownership, but the potential for life-changing wealth. So, my friends, the next time you come across a Kennedy half dollar from 2021 with a D mint mark, don't overlook it. That coin could be more than just 50 cents. It could be your golden ticket to fortune. In mint condition, it may already be worth millions. And if it carries a rare error, it might be one of the most valuable coins in circulation today. This is not just pocket change. It is a piece of history, a tribute to Kennedy's legacy, and a chance to rewrite your own destiny. Handle it carefully, value it wisely, and remember, sometimes the future of your fortune rests in the palm of your hand, disguised as an ordinary coin. The fifth up, imagine holding a coin minted in 1997, carrying the powerful image of America's beloved President John F. Kennedy. At first glance, the 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar might look like nothing more than ordinary pocket change, but hidden within its shine lies the possibility of unimaginable wealth. This coin, struck at the Denver Mint, can be worth millions in the right condition or with the right rarity. What seems like 50 cents to some could be the treasure that transforms your destiny overnight. That is the breathtaking truth of coin collecting, the power to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. The Kennedy half dollar was born out of a moment of grief and national unity in 1964 after the tragic assassination of John F. Kennedy. Americans were eager to honor their fallen leader, and the Mint responded with a coin that instantly became a national symbol of remembrance. More than 3 decades later, in 1997, the Kennedy half dollar was still in circulation, carrying forward this legacy. Each piece struck with the D Mint mark that year tells not only the story of a great president, but also the story of collectors who knew these coins could one day change lives. What separates the 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar from millions of other coins is the razor-thin line between common and extraordinary. While millions were minted, only a tiny fraction exists in flawless, untouched mint state condition. Collectors prize coins graded at the highest levels, where every detail of Kennedy's profile and the eagle on the reverse shines, as if freshly struck. These perfect examples command astronomical values at auction, with the potential to leap into the millions when paired with rarity or minting errors. Errors are where fortunes are hidden. Imagine a 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar struck off-center, doubled in detail, or even struck on the wrong planchet. These accidents of minting create unique treasures that no one else on Earth can own in the same way. Collectors chase these anomalies with fierce determination, and when such a coin appears, bidding wars erupt. That's when a coin you thought was just 50 cents can skyrocket into 6, 7, or even 8 figures. These rare treasures are the keys that open the door to wealth most people only dream about. Beyond wealth, the 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar carries artistic and emotional weight. On the obverse, Kennedy's proud and youthful profile is captured with strength and dignity, a reminder of his leadership and vision for America. On the reverse, the heraldic eagle with its shield, arrows, and olive branch represents both the nation's strength and its desire for peace. It is not just a coin. It is a piece of art, a symbol, and a legacy, all captured in metal. Owning one in pristine or rare condition is like owning a piece of America's story. Picture this. Someone inherits an old coin jar from their grandparents. At first, the half dollars inside seem unremarkable, but among them lies a 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar gleaming with unusual brilliance. When examined, it turns out to be a rare mint state coin, or even better, An error strike. Suddenly, what was once ignored becomes a life-changing discovery. This is the magic of coin collecting. Fortunes hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to see them. The coin's value lies not only in money, but in meaning. Collectors don't just see a coin. They see the memory of an era, the legacy of Kennedy, and the artistry of American minting. That emotional connection drives demand and ensures that coins like the 1997 D continue to grow in value over time. Every year that passes makes flawless examples scarcer, and as collectors fight for them, prices climb ever higher. It is both a financial investment and an emotional treasure. Auction houses around the world have witnessed the astonishing prices Kennedy half dollars can command, especially those with rare conditions or errors. Stories of coins leaping from pocket change to six-figure sales inspire both seasoned collectors and everyday dreamers. The 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar is part of this legacy, and its story is still being written. The possibility that your coin could be the next record breaker is what makes this hobby so thrilling and life-changing. So, my friends, the next time you come across a 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar, don't dismiss it as just 50 cents. It could be your ticket to a fortune beyond imagination. In flawless condition or with the right error, it has the power to turn your life upside down overnight. This coin is more than money. It is a piece of American history, a tribute to a great leader, and possibly the key to your financial destiny. Handle it with care, treasure it, and remember, sometimes the smallest piece of metal can hold the greatest promise of wealth.